Hey everyone, welcome back to Colourful Indian. I hope that you've been having a wonderful week. I know that I am. I'm so excited because today we are traveling to Monteverde, which is in Costa Rica. We're going to be visiting the cloud forest. So I'm really excited to take you on this journey. And before we begin, I want to give you a summary of what we're going to be carrying out in this video. So first we're going to have the unboxing, then we're going to do swatches on 2 skin tones, then we're going to look at some tutorials, and then I will give you my full thoughts and review on this palette and what it was like to, experience it and work with it. Plus I'm going to be doing a few shade comparisons because, as I was working with it, I wanted to know these things for myself, and the comparisons are with other Nomad palettes that I've already, used before. So before we jump into that, as I know we have a lot to cover, my name is Ranita. I love doing makeup reviews, swatches, tutorials. If you are on Instagram, you can find me there. I have TikTok as well. So yeah, if these are things that interest you, then please subscribe, drop a comment, let me know that you're here so I can say hello. And if you're someone who's been following me for some time, welcome back. Really, really happy to see you here after some time. I know that I haven't really been uploading very consistently lately, but that's mostly because of some health problems that I've had and I just had to slow down. But I am trying my best, and I'm very excited about this palette. So yeah, I will see you at the unboxing. Hey everyone, this is the brand new Nomad palette and I'm super excited to open it with you. So yeah, let's get into opening. I've already cut a slit over here. I'm just going to pull this out. We're going to see what the next location is. Okay, so this is the new location and look at those birds. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm just so freaking happy about this. This is, what they've said on their postcard. It is the Monteverde Cloud Forest palette. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I kind of had a feeling that this was going to be like a very tropical palette, especially just looking at, the imprints on the eyeshadows that have been revealed so far. So I'm just really excited about it. So it says that the palette, let's look at this part over here. The palette is a canopy of gradient forest greens dotted with vivid pops of color from the flowers and animals that peek through the verdant trees. So we have 12 flourishing mats, 6 luminescent shimmers. Okay, so we basically have a very tropical palette with neon shades. I know that because they've already released 6 colors, but I'm totally excited to see the full reveal. So let's do that. And before we do, oh, look at the slot. It's so cute. I love how Nomad always has like such a unique stamp for each palette that they have. Okay, so this is going to be the moment of truth. Almost dropped that. Oh my gosh. Just look at that. Oh, I love how, with Nomad. Oh my gosh. I'm just loving this. Okay, so you can clearly see that there's animals. So many animals over here. So you've got birds, you've got the toucan, you've got a sloth, hummingbirds, frogs, and I'm not really sure what that is. Is that another toucan? But it is so beautiful and it looks so pretty and so pastel. And this is essentially the color story. Oh, it looks so beautiful with all those greens. Okay, yeah, so basically if you love green, this is probably going to be the palette for you, I think, just by looking at all those tones. And you can see that there's like massive pops of color over here. I'm so excited. Okay, so let us open the palette. But before we do, as you know, every single Nomad palette supports a different organization. So here, this palette is for the Monteverde Cloud Forest Preserve. Okay, that's really awesome. I'm excited to look into this palette. Let's do it. Oh wow, look at that. I love how even the inside of their palettes are so pretty and designed so well. Oh, okay. Look at this. It's so pretty. So designed on location, tracking in the Monteverde Cloud Forest, and they're a proud supporter of that Cloud Forest Preserve, which I mentioned. And yeah, the monkey is so cute. Okay, oh my gosh, I love this packaging. Oh my goodness, this is so freaking gorgeous. Okay, I really love this. I'm totally ready to open it and see what's inside. So I hope that you are too. It is so beautiful. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Let's open it. Oh goodness, wow. Okay, so this is the palette. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful and I am just dying to get into this. So you can obviously see that it's definitely super tropical. They've got butterflies, loving that, hummingbirds, loving that as well. I think these are leaves. That's the imprint, like all these over here. And then you've got orchids. Yeah, orchids. And I love orchids. And in fact, my mom loves orchids too. So I think she would really appreciate that. And I'm just really in love with those hummingbird imprints as well. Yeah, this is a very, very pretty palette. So I really, really want to like get into the swatches and try these. These are the swatches in, you know, bedroom lighting. These are the swatches in bathroom lighting, and we have a yellow light here. So as you can see, this is what they look like. These are what the swatches look like in natural sunlight. All right, so we're jumping right into the looks now. And I've basically primed my face using the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Primer. And I've also, you know, put on my P. Louise base, which is that white thing that you can see on my eyes. And we're going to get into the shades. I'm very excited. Okay, so I'll see you at the first look. Okay, so the first shade that I'm going in with is the shade Orchid. It's a very, very bright pink, and I'm putting it in the corner of my eyes. You can see that that shade is very, very vibrant. It's showing up really, really beautifully, so I'm quite happy about that. Before we go on to the next shade, I'm just going to take another pink. It's called Bromeliad. You can see it's slightly different, and I'm just going to tap that right here in the inner corner just to kind of give my eye maybe a slight transition of color. Okay, the next shade that I'm going in with is called Violet Saberwing. It's a very, very deep purple, so I'm taking that and I'm just tapping it onto you know, the white areas there. Just kind of blending that in as I go. The next shade I'm going in with is called Blue Morpho. As you can see, it's a very bright blue. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay. Yeah, I really like this shade. I feel like it's so, so pretty. I'm not really sure why, but I feel like these shades are a bit chalky. I'm not really sure how this is happening because I'm not sure if you can actually see. It's becoming quite patchy over here. And I've never actually had this experience with a Nomad palette before. Like not this level of like patchiness, because I know it's happened with other brands, but this is just a bit strange for me, the way that it's kind of settling on my skin. I'm genuinely wondering if I should have put like more of my white base, because I know that, you know, some palettes need more. So I just think that since this is the first look and, you know, I'm already seeing this kind of patchiness coming through, I'm going to put a lot more base for my second one because I want this to be as beautiful as possible. But it's okay, you know, this is the first time. This is obviously the first look, and we have to experiment and play around to really see how the palette can be used to the best. We have to play around and see, you know, just what we need to do to make the palette work. So I'm just hoping that the palette improves, but yeah, you can definitely see there's a big patch there, and I'm a bit worried about that. Okay, so I've just been fixing my eye. I'm going in with the next shade now, which is called Glass Wings. It's a deeper kind of green, so I'm tapping it here, and I'm just gonna take it a bit out towards the end. I'm now going in with the shade Green Vine Snake. It's a lighter green, kind of like a fluorescent green almost, but I think it'll look very, very pretty. And I'm going to connect it to my blue. So I just have to blend this out so that it doesn't, you know, look messy. Okay, so now I'm going in with Wonderland Mist. I think I'm just going to be putting that right on top over here, just to kind of finish up the look. I'm now taking the shade Magical Mist, and I'm just gonna put it here in the corner of my eye, just to kind of brighten that up. Alright, so this is, you know, the first look that I've done, and as I was doing the look I did drop a few comments. So, you know, let me jump into the makeup details for this. For my mouth, I actually used 2 shades. I went in with this gloss from Juvia's Place, and I also used this Maybelline lipstick, which is really old. I doubt that it's even in stock, but you should be able to find like a similar color. It's a very hot pink, and it actually kind of like is a little bit metallic as well. So I kind of combined the two of them because I felt that it would kind of match the look better. So on my eyes, there's quite a lot of details. I'm just going to zoom in and tell you about that. Okay, so with my eyes, you basically have that red liner. So that is actually an unbranded liner. I just happened to pick it up and I decided to use it. The eyelashes are from Kiss. The rhinestones that you're seeing on my eye are, you know, from Shein. I bought a lot of them at one point. And of course the eyeliner, that is the green one underneath my eyes, is from Revlon. It is a teal eyeliner, and you know, I got it from India, and it's just one of my favorite eyeliners, so I thought I would use that. And I went over that with some of the green shimmers in the palette itself. So yeah, I've just kind of, you know, played around, tested it out as much as I possibly could, and this is, you know, what I actually ended up with. So I'm pretty happy with the look. Alright, so my first impressions of using this palette. So, you know, it's very interesting, right? Because like Nomad and I think their previous palettes, they generally give you like maybe an equal amount of shimmers and mattes, but I think this one was different. They've actually put in like 12 matte shades into this palette, and they've also given us like 6 shimmer shades. So this is essentially what the palette looks like, and you know, I did manage to use quite a few shades from here today, so I'm just going to count. I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. I used 8 shades to create the look that I did today. Just, you know, adding small touches here and there, and you know, this is basically what I got. You know, when I was doing my mattes, I kind of did feel that the mattes were a bit patchy on my eyes. I'm looking at the colors now on my eyes, and I actually like the way that the look has turned out. So I think that I'm not really disappointed with this look. I'm quite happy with the way it was working. I think when I was doing it in that moment, I definitely was kind of struggling with the patching because I felt I had to kind of go back and like, you know, work with it and kind of spread it around on my eye, and you know, that was kind of not really the best experience, I think. But I'm actually wondering if this is because I didn't put enough of my P. Louise base, and if you've been following me, you know that I always use my P. Louise base, so this was just, you know, like a very light layer, and yeah, this is, you know, how the colors have turned out. I mean, I think that they look pretty vibrant. It's just that, yeah, I wasn't really expecting that patchy thing to go on, but it kind of worked itself out because now when you look at my eyes, there's actually no patchiness. So yeah, I think that was the only thing that I was a bit concerned about, but I think it's actually looking really pretty, and I'm really happy with the first look. So aside from that, highlighter, I used my Ofra signature palette highlighter. So it's this one. When you open the Ofra signature palette, there are 5 shades inside, and I basically used that middle one. It's kind of like a very peachy gold shade. I'll just show you on my finger. So if you just look at that, that is basically the shade that, you know, I ended up putting on my nose and my cheeks, and you know, yeah, just highlighting my face with. And I think that that's about it. I mean, I always use the Woosh Beauty face palette for, you know, my foundation, as well as, you know, just as my setting powder as well. And you know, yeah, like the rest of the details are obviously going to be posted, so I think you can just stay tuned for that. But these are basically the look details. Let me know what you think of the first look, but so far my impression is that I really do need to play around with the palette a bit more to get a better feel of it. I was definitely very excited though about the colors because, you know, I have a love for, you know, bird of paradise plants. I think that they're so beautiful, and I've actually painted them many times, and I had this incomplete painting. This is something that I did just for like reference, and I think I was kind of like following this from my eyes, so I don't know if you can actually see yeah, the inspiration. It was kind of this because, you know, on the palette obviously when you look at it, there's a lot of bird of paradise, and it's just so colorful and so pretty, so I really thought, okay, you know, why don't we just do that? Okay, so that's all for the first look. I'm going to move on to the second one, and I will see you there. Welcome to the second tutorial. I'm going in with the shade Green Vine Snake. So I'm going to take that shade. It's a very bright green, as you can probably see on my brush, and I'm going to be tapping that right over here. If you want more pigment, what you need to do is tap your brush. Don't blend it, because if you saw what I did the first time, I was kind of blending it out. Pigment wasn't coming, so now I'm just tapping, because when you tap, then more pigment just kind of sticks in that one area. Okay, so the next shade I'm going in for is called Green Spiny Lizard, and it's another green, obviously. So I'm just going to take that and put that just over here, connecting it to the first color, and I'm just tapping that in, as you can see, to give it that transition. So we don't want it to be like, you know, just like a clean break. You need that transition of color. Okay, the next shade that I'm using is called Glass Wings. It's a very, very deep green, so I'm going to be using that to kind of connect this green to the other one. Okay, so now I'm just going in to cut my crease with the P. Louise blank canvas paint. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going in with the shade Green Mountain. It's a very, very deep shimmer, so you can see what that color looks like, and I'm gonna just tap it into those areas. The next shade I'm going in with is Wildlife Wonderland, so I'm just taking that and I'm tapping it here in the center of my eye. So you can see it's a lighter green, kind of perfect with that, you know, fluorescent matte that we've put already on our eyes. For the final shade, I'm going in with a Magical Mist. I'm taking some blue Morpho, which is the matte blue, and I'm just adding it underneath my eye. Alright, so this is the second look that I've done, and you know, I did use a lot of green shades, obviously, as you can tell, and I think that the shades worked pretty well. I did notice a slight bit of patching again using, you know, these the green matte shades. I'm not really sure why. It just kind of happened like right at the end of my eye, and that's why if I just zoom in a bit, I show you, you can see right over here there's that line. No matter what I did to kind of correct my eye and add on more of the color, it just was not, you know, getting rid of that patch. But I think it kind of ended up working really, really well because, you know, kind of went along with the shape of my eye. So I'm not really like too bothered by it. Coming to the shimmers, they're so freaking beautiful. I absolutely love them. I just love, just look at that. It is so beautiful. Like I absolutely love it. So I was totally excited after using the shimmers. Which shades did I use? Okay, so basically I've used 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, so I used 6 shades in this palette to create the look that I'm wearing. And oh wait, sorry, I forgot 7 actually, because I also used Blue Morpho. I actually put that underneath my eyes, and then I lined over it with a turquoise liner just to kind of give it a bit of a lift, because I just thought that it would look a lot prettier, and you know, that's how I ended up with, you know, what I got. So yeah, this is, you know, how it turned out. And I need to tell you the details. Okay, so the makeup details, I basically went in with the Ofra Signature palette again for my highlighter, so you can see that it's so just the way it lifts the face, it's amazing. I put a little bit here in the corner along with like one of the shades from here. I think it was what mist, what was it called? Magical Mist. Yeah, so I took Magical Mist, so I went over that with my Ofra palette, and I used this shade over here. So yeah, and I think I used the last shade, that's this one over here, to do my cheeks and my nose. And then what else do I need to tell you? For lining, for the black liner on top, I used Catrice Cosmetics. They have this eye pencil that I got. So they actually sent me 3 different colors, you know, to give my review on and everything. And one of them was black. It's a gel eye pencil and it's waterproof. It's called 20 Hour Ultra Precision. And I really, really love this gel eyeliner pencil. It just makes it so easy to get a deep, dark black, which is exactly what I like. I don't like muted blacks at all. So this is an amazing eyeliner pencil. And if you want to try it, I would highly recommend it. For my lipstick, I used 2 shades from MAC, so I kind of lined it first with Spice It Up, which is kind of like a duller brown, and I put that outside my mouth just to get that ombre effect. And you know, I went in after that with Ruby Woo, which is one of my favorite reds. I absolutely love this red. In fact, this was my very first red lipstick. Prior to getting red lipsticks, I actually thought that because of my skin tone that I could not wear red lipsticks. And I remember reading an article about Ruby Woo and how it worked for every skin tone. And that's basically how I ended up picking up Ruby Woo, which was then stolen by my sister. And I ended up getting a new one once I came to the US. So yeah, that is, you know, one of my favorite reds, and you can see how beautiful it looks. And of course I matched that to my earrings. These are some hummingbird earrings which I've been dying to wear, and I just felt that, you know, because the palette has got hummingbirds on it, like right over there. I mean, it's a purple hummingbird right over here. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess this one's a different color, and I just thought it would look so pretty. So that's how I got the inspiration for this look. As usual, the rhinestones that you're seeing on my face are from Shein. So yeah, that's basically it for the makeup details. Foundation and everything else was my Woosh Beauty palette. I always use that, and I'll put the rest of the details in, you know, my description box. But anyway, yeah, let's move on to look number 3. Welcome to the third tutorial. I'm going in with the shade Toucan, which is a very bright yellow, and I'm just gonna be putting that right here in the inner corners of my eyes. I'm using a big floofy brush to get this color onto my eye. I'm now going in for the shade Violet Saber Wing. I'm going to be starting in the middle. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but even though I'm picking up so much color with my brush, for some reason or the other, I'm not really able to get the depth of color that I really want to get from this. And as you can see, there's patching starting to happen as well. I'm not really sure what to make of this, because I've never really had this problem with Nomad Palettes. I'm wondering if it's just like the formula, because these are, you know, neon pigments. Okay, I'm now going in with the shade Orchid, which is a really bright pink, and I'm going to be putting that right at the end of my eye and blending it out with that purple. So I'm looking at my eye, and I'm kind of really surprised that the purple is just not sticking to my eye. Even the yellow, the way that it's worked so far, I'm not super happy about this. I think that what I'm going to do is cut a crease, even though I really didn't want to cut a crease for this look, but I think I have to, because I need to really test and see if this is because of the base I'm using. Like, I'm using 2 bases. I'm using my e.l.f. base, and I'm also using my P. Louise base. So I've got 2 bases. And I'm wondering if that's kind of done something to the formula. So I think what I'm going to do is cut my crease with the P. Louise blank canvas, and then I'm going to reapply the same shades on top, and I'm going to see if that makes a difference to the way the colors are being applied. Because if it is, then it means that, you know, it's just my base that's kind of like causing these problems. So yeah. Okay, so I finished doing the crease, and I've kind of noticed that the color seems to be sticking a lot better to this base. But, you know, like when I tried to blend it again, like you can see here how pigmented that shows up on my blank canvas base and how it shows up here with just a normal base. So I think that this may be a base issue, and something that I need to correct on my end. I don't think I should be using 2 bases. So anyway, I'm going to try and correct this look the best as I possibly can, because as you can see, there's a obvious like break in between the colors here, pink and purple, where, you know, I obviously had stopped. I did a half cut crease, so you can see that that's there. And obviously that shouldn't be there because, you know, then it kind of messes up the look. Okay, so I'm going in with the yellow shade again. I'm just gonna put that in the corner of my eye. So there's only one way to save this look, and that's to go in with some shimmer. So I'm going in with the shade River Trail, which is the only cool tone shade in this palette. I mean, the only cool tone shimmer in this palette. And I'm going to be putting it right over here. And I'm going to join it with another shimmer. I'm now going in with the shade Hanging Bridges. It kind of is a yellowy gold look to me, and I think this is a duochrome, but I just thought that it would look really nice with this color scheme that I'm going for. And I thought since it's a shimmer, it'll kind of cover up some of that. Okay, so yeah, this is what you can see. The shimmers are working beautifully, but that patch really needs to go. Hey everyone, so this is basically the final, result for look 3. So, as I was doing the look, I did make some comments about, how the shades were working and everything. So I just want to state that I absolutely love this look, okay? Like, I really, really love the way that it ended up looking like. However, I'm still really not sure about whether these matte shades are not working because of the way that I'm applying my primer. So basically, to remove the patch, what I had to do was go over this entire look, and I had to apply the shimmer shade first. So the purple shimmer shade went on to that area first, and then I took the matte shade and I went over that, and then I reapplied in the same purple shimmer shade, and that's how it ended up becoming like this. And I kind of also used a darker purple shade from another palette just to kind of, make it a bit neater, because I wasn't really sure if it was going to work or not. But anyway, this is the end result, and I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm very, very happy with it. So yeah, I just need to explore more, I think, in terms of like what exactly is going on with these colors, because I can see that they look really, really vibrant on my skin. And when I used the P. Louise base, like I used 2 different bases. So like one of them is for cutting creases, which is, the blank canvas. It's called an acid rain paint. And the other one is this P. Louise cosmetic base. So there are 2 of them, and I've got many different colors for this one, but I went in with white because I obviously wanted the intensity of the color to show through, right? Because this is like an intense pigment eyeshadow palette. Like obviously you want intense colors with this. And look at the inspiration. I mean, like, this is such a colorful palette. Obviously I want to stay true to like the entire like theme. So I'm not really sure what's going on. The good thing is that it definitely works on this, which is, the blank canvas acid rain paint. So I think that, it's just, it may be something to do with how I'm applying my base, because I actually went over it with the face primer first. I'm not going to use this in my next few looks. I'm just going to go in with P. Louise, and I'm going to see if that makes a difference, because maybe there's something about the e.l.f. primer that's kind of like making the tackiness of the P. Louise like switch off. So yeah, I'm going to experiment with that, and you'll get my final like thoughts on the entire palette right at the end, depending on like my entire like overall experience. But let me give you the makeup details anyway. So for this look I did use quite a few colors. We tapped into a lot. So I wanted to kind of go for a very islandy, very like, fun, colorful look, something that was going to make me feel like, yeah, this is so colorful and so me. So yeah, I decided to use Orchid, and then I used this one. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, 5 shades. So I used 5 shades to create this really, really beautiful look. And I think that, after I'm looking at it right now, I'm really, really happy with it, obviously. But when I was doing it in that moment, I really was wondering, like, what am I doing wrong? So anyway, for the eyeliner, I went in again with my Catrice Cosmetics black eyeliner pencil. It's really becoming like one of my favorites. I really, really love this eye pencil. Yeah, it's this one, 20 hour, precision. I seriously love this eyeliner pencil. It's just one of like the absolute best black ones, because I just really, really like dark eyeliners. So that one works so well for me. And I also used Catrice's mascara, which I'm trying to find for you over here. I have so much stuff. wait, I think it's this one. It's just stuck. Yeah, this is the mascara. It's called Lash Changer Volume Mascara. And you know, I'm really surprised because usually when I use mascara, I don't really see a very big difference, but this seriously adds volume. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like magic for me. So I'm really, really happy with that. What else? Okay, eyeliner. So underneath my eye, you can see this green and then there's a plum kind of look. So this is actually a Morphe eyeliner. Let me search for it. I think it's this one. Yeah, right over here. Falling for Green. It looks like this. Yeah, so this is it. Falling for Green. It's a wonderful eyeliner. I really love using it. It works so easily. So you should definitely get Morphe liners if you ever get a chance to. And then the plum one is a Revlon eyeliner, which I got in India. I'm not really sure if you guys can get it anymore. Basically, any like purpley, plummy kind of color should work if you want to like replicate this look. And for my lipstick, I went in with MAC Burning Love. It's a very, very lovely matte pink shade. But like what I did was I decided to kind of make it like a gloss by going over it with the shade Dairy from Salem Cosmetics. Salem, I really, really loved this color just on its own, but I felt like because this is kind of like very bold, I wanted to kind of match with that theme, hence I added the two colors together to get this. And I'm missing a couple of things. Oh right, okay, so highlighter, I went in with Sienna Luster by Odin's Eye Cosmetics. I swear this range that Odin's Eye has come out with is, it just blows my mind, and I am doing a full video on that, so that'll come out soon. But I just wanted to show you this blush. It is freaking amazing, absolutely amazing. It is, I don't know, like, it just look at it. You can see the shine that's coming right through over there. It's an amazing blusher. Like I just absolutely love it. And I'm not even really using it as a blush. I'm kind of using it as a highlighter because that's just how bright this is. It's freaking amazing. So I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything. Oh yeah, the sequins on my eyes again from Shein. I picked up so many, so thought it was time for a change, and that's basically what happened. And yeah, that's basically it for this look. I'll put all the rest of the details on the box below, but I'm still interested in seeing, you know, what else I can create from this. Okay, so I have primed my eyes with 2 coats of, you know, my P. Louise base, and I'm going in with the first shade, which is a lovely brown. I think it's called Two-Toed Slots. I'm taking it, and I'm starting over here at the end. And I love how pigmented that is. This is already a good sign. The next shade I'm going in with is Blue Morpho, so I'm just taking that and I'm stamping it a little bit into my brown, and then I'm going to take it down a bit. And yeah, obviously, you know, the way I did my base definitely had a massive impact on the way the shades work, so I have to say that it was my base that was the problem. It was not the colors. I'm now taking the shade Passiflora and I'm just putting it right here in the inner corners of my eyes. I'm now going in for the shade Resplendent Quetzal, and I'm putting that right over here and connecting it to that pink. Okay, so this is just the matte shades on my eye, and I do want to add shimmer, so I'm taking Cloud Canopy, which is kind of like, it's a very interesting color. It looks kind of like brownish green, and I'm hoping that it kind of works just for the ends, you know, over here. So let's see how that goes, because I have no idea how this is going to turn out. And I'm going to probably go in with another shade, just maybe halfway. I don't think I'm going to go the whole way. Okay, so now we're going in with Magic Mist. Hey everyone, so this is how the fourth look turned out. So okay, definitely a huge difference because I only used my P. Louise base and I noticed that vibrancy of color almost automatically. So I definitely think that mixing the two bases was a really, really big mistake. Right, so that being said, let's get into the makeup details. So for this look, I kind of wanted to do a bluish, brownish kind of look, and then it ended up becoming pretty colorful. As you can see, I've covered up my brown actually with one of the shimmers, and it kind of turned into a green. So let's see how many shades we used. For this look, I basically used 6 shades to complete the look. That was a little bit of glass wing underneath my eye, which I didn't film, but I'm just letting you know. I did use Cloud Canopy, Magical Mist, Resplendent Quetzal, and then I used Blue Morpho and, you know, Two-Toed Sloth, which you saw was a really strong brown color, and I was very happy with it because that's the kind of pigmentation I like. So, you know, when the colors started coming through, I realized instantly that it was definitely the base that was, you know, having an impact on the way that the colors turn out. So for this look, I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, actually I used 7 shades. I forgot about this. Yeah, the little pink in the corner of my eyes, and blending that pink with the blues basically kind of got another shade, which is like a purple right over there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right in between the pink and the blue. But yeah, I basically blended it out, and, you know, I ended up getting this, and then I felt that it really did need a little bit of a kick, and that's why I added those you know, sequins onto my eyes, obviously. But yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with the way that it's turned out. And let me just give you the makeup details. So for this, I did use quite a few eye pencils. I used 4 actually. So I used these 2 from BH Cosmetics. So there's a blue one, there's a green one, which is a shimmer teal. I used Catrice Cosmetics in navy blue. It's a really nice pencil. I just lined my, you know, inner corners on the top eyelid just very gently. So I really like these because these are very thin liners. If you don't want to do like a very strong one, you can definitely go in for something like this. It's so nice. For these, for the under eye, I actually used, oh, I forgot one. So for my under eye, I actually used the turquoise again from Revlon. I then followed it up with another one from Revlon, which is a navy blue. I happened to kind of add just a little bit there, and then I went in with the royal blue pencil from BH, and then the shimmer teal, all of which you can see here. Let me just zoom in so that you can kind of see what I mean. So you can see there's a turquoise, there's navy, royal blue, and then shimmer teal. And I kind of felt all of that match perfectly. And the liquid eyeliner that you see on the top over there, that one is from Maven Beauty. They have liquid eyeliners, which I bought, and I used the turquoise one. I felt that, you know, it's a very kind of bluey green look, which I'm really happy with. I actually really like the look. And from my mouth, I decided to go in with this shade from MAC Cosmetics. It's called A Little Tamed. It's kind of like the same pink as the pink right over there in the inner corners of my eye, you know, that gives it that additional like pop of color, which I really liked. So I thought, yeah, let me just complement it. So from my blush, I went in with Alva from Odense. It's a lovely shade of pink. I added just a little bit on my cheeks just to give it a bit of a glow. And for my highlighter, I used BH Cosmetics, the Aspen palette. I really love this palette. I always come back to it because the shades are just absolutely magical. So over here I used the blue, you know, to kind of highlight my eyes right on the top. Like, I don't know, you can see that amazing shine coming through. That is this palette. And then I went for that pink right over here, and I added a little bit of that here just to kind of give my face a bit of a glow. And you know, that was that. I'm happy to report that I'm much more confident about the way that the palette is currently working. I feel the colors are blending as I want them to blend. They are giving me that depth of color that I want, and you know, it's just it's sticking, and you can see how vibrant the shades are on my skin tone. So obviously the key to making the palette work is to use a good base, and please don't mix 2 bases like what I did. I don't know why I was doing that. Like, I feel kind of dumb that I did it, but yeah, I think I was just really excited about e.l.f. because I do like e.l.f. for the rest of my face. It's just I would not suggest, you know, mixing this with a P. Louise base, because obviously kind of screwed up my application for like the previous couple of looks. So yeah, we're gonna go into the next look. I will see you there. Okay, welcome to the 5th tutorial. I'm going in with the first shade, which is Toucan. It's a very bright yellow, and I'm gonna be putting it right over here in the inner corners of my eye. I'm just using the P. Louise base for this one. Okay, so it turns, I kind of feel like with this particular yellow shade, even with just using the P. Louise base, it's not really giving me that vibrancy that, you know, I would get if I use my P. Louise Acid Rain paint. So it's kind of like a muted fluorescent for me. Okay, so I'm going in with the next shade, which is called Jaguar. It's a very bright orange, and I just kind of want to put that in the center. The next shade I'm going in with is Orchid, which I'm going to be putting just over here. I'm tapping the color just into that section, and I'm using a poofy brush because I don't really need a sharp end for this. You can see that this is very, very bright. I'm very happy with how that pink is looking right now. For the last shade, I'm going in with purple. So that's the Violet Saberwing shade, and I'm just adding a wee bit of it right over here at the end. Just attaching it to that pink as best as I can, but I can see there's a bit of a issue happening here. It's not really blending in as well as I would have liked it to. Okay, so now I'm just taking this shade and putting a bit of it just there in the corner of my eyes. So yeah, I think this is basically the completed look. I'm going to do my eyeliner and show you what it looks like. Hey everyone, okay, so this is the fifth look. So before I get into, giving you my thoughts on the palette, I want to give you the makeup details. So for this one, I basically used 2 lip shades for my mouth. So I went in with this, I think it's a lipstick. So I went in with Perfect Diaries Live Young. It's a shade it's kind of like a orangey red shade, which I thought would complement the look really well. I didn't want to do red again because I'd already done red. So it's kind of like this. It's not like a super, red. Yeah, like I said, it's very orangey, and that's how I got that. And I went over that with the shade Toxic, which is by Ulat Cosmetics, and this is a lip gloss, and I absolutely love this lip gloss. It kind of gives it like a gold shine, kind of gives it like a rust color, and I thought that was, pretty good for the look. So obviously for this one, I did warm colors, and I used a lot of the matte shades because obviously this is a predominantly matte palette. So I thought, since the colors are there, I kind of want to do at least one really warm toned look. Alright, so for this look, I used 5 shades. 4 were matte shades, and one of them was a shimmer. So that's the shimmer over here. And then I used 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have gone through every single shade in the palette as of right now, and I've used them differently. Obviously, I've used some on my white P. Louise base, I've used some with a mixture of my e.l.f. base, and I've also used some on my acid rain paint base. So I kind of felt that I needed to do this to get a really good feel of the palette and to see how it performs overall. For my blush, I actually went in with Salem Cosmetics. They sent me this spooky cute blush in the shade Blood Frenzy. It's a very, very bright red, and it's an amazing blusher, by the way. So you just need like a teeny weeny bit of this on your cheeks to give you like a little bit of that pinkish glow, but it's so powerful. So I put a very little of that, and then I went over that with Sienna Luster, which is by Odenzai. This is their blush range. There are 6 of them from the Solmane 2 collection. I received this as PR. It is a stunning highlighter. Yeah, so the color is lighter on that side of the compact, and then it comes to like a really beautiful orange peach kind of shade, and you can see it and how it looks like right now on my face because obviously I used it right over there as my highlighter, and I'm just so amazed by how beautiful it is, and what a stunning orange kind of glow it brings to the overall look. And I felt that since this is so warm toned, I'm just going to go in with a warm toned blusher as well, and I really am happy. I love this look, by the way. I'm so happy with it. Okay, so for eyeliners, I've used 2 black eyeliners. So I used the Catrice Cosmetics black one, and then for the inner corners I went in with Shein. They have this liquid kind of eyeliner pen, and I really like it because I'm able to do sharp corners when I use that particular pen. And then underneath my eyes, I used a gold liner from BH Cosmetics. And then I also used a very, very old purple eyeliner. Any kind of purple eyeliner should do if you're trying to like recreate this. And that's essentially, what I actually ended up using for my face. So let me give you my overall thoughts on the palette and how it performed. So I did think that I found it a bit harder than normal to use this palette in the beginning. As you probably could tell, there was some patching going on. If you look at this look over here, a little bit of that patchiness kind of came in right over here, because you can see that line is there. So I did have to go and blend it out, but I did notice that when I used my, white P. Louise base, the patching was a lot less. So I would highly suggest getting that base, because I just feel like it really works with a lot of different palettes. Like I feel like certain bases just kind of screw up, your makeup and everything. So obviously I want you to have a positive experience with your makeup, which is why I'm telling you to do that. And I think you can see a similar thing happening on this side. That purple was kind of like, you can see there's a very pronounced line, like there's a separation of color happening over there. And I generally like to blend my makeup, quite well. So for me personally, as I was using the palette and the shades, I noticed that this was kind of happening a lot with the neon shades, especially if you did not have like a proper base for them. And by the neon shades, I'm talking about like the yellow and the orange. Purple was kind of acting a little odd, I'm not really sure why. And then I think that for the rest of them, like this pink was really, really strong, and I'm very happy about that. I didn't have that problem. So I think a couple of the shades were having like this thing that was happening with my primer, but it doesn't mean that, it was unworkable. I was still able to work pretty well with the palette, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think, in terms of intense, like color intensity and all of that, it's actually very, very beautiful and very nice. I think that, the range of colors, when we talk about, how many looks do you think you can create with this? I think you can do quite a lot. Obviously, I think if you're going for like a very, very neutral look, which is more towards browns and stuff, when I say neutral, you're going to probably just have one shade to work with, which is that. But you could probably pair it with this greeny pink, duochrome shade over here. I think this is a duochrome. So I think that, yeah, if you're going for like very bright, happy looks, then this palette is probably, the palette for you, obviously, because most of my looks have ended up being so freaking colorful. Not that I'm upset about that. I actually really, really love colorful looks. So, I'm very, very happy with that. So my experience with the mattes was basically a mixture. I noticed some mattes worked really, really well. For example, Glass Wings, which was that dark green, that worked amazing. That blue was amazing. This brown was amazing. Even this one, this blue was really, really good. But I think I really had to use a base. If I didn't use a base, I don't think I would have gotten that intensity of color. And I think that's what was happening with, the other yellow look that I did. Like I started off yellow, and yeah. So basically, with the shimmers, every single shimmer performed wonderfully. It was absolutely amazing. I love the shimmers in this palette. I thought they were so, so beautiful. And I was just really, really pleased, with their overall performance. Even for this look, I just love the way that shimmer sits on top of the yellow, and it gives it a very gentle kind of glow, because obviously this is a matte look, because there's just not many shimmers I think I could have added to this particular look. But I'm a shimmer person. I really do like shimmers. So when I was trying to decide what shimmer to put on my eyes, I was a bit like, worried about like, yeah, am I gonna have something to like actually add? But then, yeah, Hanging Bridges kind of came in and saved the day. I think if you're into mattes, this is probably, the palette for you. In terms of versatility, yeah, you can create a lot of looks with this. It's just that if you're more on the neutral side and you're hoping for a more neutral kind of look, I think then you'd probably have to do a combination of palettes, obviously. But I think if you're going for very beautiful, summery, colorful looks like what I'm going for, you're gonna have a lot of fun. That's basically how I feel about the palette. I think it's beautiful. I think they did a really, really nice job with the color selection and everything. It's definitely new for Nomad. I don't think I've seen fluorescent shades coming in, so these look very, very, very intense, and beautiful. I think in terms of the formula, maybe the yellow and the orange could have been changed a bit, because even for this one, I kind of noticed that, like because of my skin tone, right, like you're hoping for like a super bright yellow, but I kind of felt that for the yellow and the orange, it was a little bit chalky, so just be prepared for that. I think if you have lighter skin, you're probably not going to have this, problem as much. But for me, because I have this skin tone, I did have to like go back in there with a white base and like cover it up a bit and then redo the yellow. And then I realized that with the yellow I couldn't get it as intense as I wanted to get it, but I still like the way that it's shown up for this look. So I'm not really like upset about it or anything, you know. It's not going to make me like dislike the palette. All in all, I think that it really comes down to like your base. So if you are someone who looks for a very, very intense look, especially when you are using this palette, I would highly suggest using a white base. It doesn't have to be P. Louise, but you know, just use a base that's really going to like make your skin color change to white. Because that way the color is going to go on there exactly as it was meant to go on. However, if I wanted it even more like intense, I would have used my acid rain paint, but I didn't really want to do that for this particular look. I kind of wanted to just, you know, let it show up how it's supposed to show up. I was kind of not really going for that acid rain thing. A piece of advice that I want to leave behind with anyone who's checking out this review is please make sure that you use a base, especially if you've got like a slightly darker skin tone like mine, and you know, you just want the intensity of that pigment to show through. You are going to have to use a base. I think that for some of the shades, like I mentioned, the greens, the blue, the brown and all of that, it kind of just, it came across very, very bold, and that's kind of what I'm used to when it comes to Nomad, very intense pigments. But I think for these fluorescent shades, for some reason or the other, I was not getting the same result that I usually get when I use my P. Louise white base. So I would say for that one, use an acid rain paint or something similar to an acid rain paint, because then you'll probably get that intensity of color. In fact, we did see that in, you know, the other look that I did where I did my half cut creases and all of that. So okay, and I just wanted to show you color comparisons. Like this is basically the you know, Monteverde palette, and then below that is Paradise Islands, because I was looking at the colors and I was wondering if the greens are similar. So as you can probably see here, the greens are not similar. They're different shades. Even that light green over here, it's very, very different from that one, like from this one over here. Same thing for the dark green, which is over here. It's very different from, you know, the one where my thumb is. So even the blues are different. Like this one's actually more of like a greeny kind of blue, I think, and this one's like a very, sorry, this one over here is very like intense, I would say. So yeah, even though it seems like there are similarities in shades between, you know, some of these Nomad palettes, I don't really think that these are similar. When you look at the palettes like together, you can see once again the shades are definitely different. So I was kind of wondering if the browns were similar, like that brown and this brown, but this is actually like a cooler brown, I think, and this one is more warm. I've put some golden hearts over the shades that are from the recent palette, that is the Monteverde palette. The other shades that you can see are from, you know, Whistler and Paradise Islands and all of that. So you can basically see that even though the shades look similar, they're not exactly the same. And America's Parks was also added in. If you look at the shimmery greens, the first shimmery green is basically from America's Parks, and then after that I added Paradise Islands in. And yeah, it's the same for basically all the other shades. So if you are, you know, kind of worried about similar shades, I just wanted to let you know that they may look similar, but they're not exactly the same. You know, these are the shades, and I thought, okay, there's purple, so maybe we should try and see how similar those purple shades are. The yellows are obviously different because the yellow from, you know, the recent one is a fluorescent, and this one is a very warm, sunny kind of yellow. So I'm just going to swatch the purples for you so you can see the difference, and the yellows. So the ones with the black hearts on top are from the recent palette, that is Monteverde, and the ones next to them are from the Province palette. So you can see that they are different. Obviously the yellow is very obvious, like I said, fluorescent, and you know, the Province one is warm. And then if you come to the purples over there, you can see that the purple kind of has a bit of a pink shift going on, and it's also like, yeah, I think I can see a bit of blue as well. And with the other purple, which is from the Province palette, that one's kind of like a steely purple, like steely grayish purple, so it's not the same by any means. I hope that the video has been generally helpful, you know, in assisting you to make a decision about this palette. I certainly tried my best to do as many looks as I could within the time frame, and yeah, you know, let me know what you think. Will you be picking this palette up? I think that at this point, that's all I have to say about the palette. I'm genuinely quite happy with it, and I really do like the looks that I've created with them. Before we end the video, I wanted to let you know that I will be doing my Provence palette review ASAP. I had some problems with my nose. I have chronic rhinitis, and basically that means that there are days I wake up and I sneeze and I sneeze and I sneeze if I'm not taking medication, so it's made things a little bit more challenging, and that's kind of the reason why I haven't been as active. And of course, prior to that there was COVID, so I am keen though to finish up the Provence palette and give you my thoughts on it, because I do think it's a really beautiful palette, and you know, I want to share, you know, my experience with it, obviously. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It should be up very soon. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe and to drop a comment below so that I know that you're here and I can reach out and say hello. And for now, I hope that this review suffices. So let me know your thoughts below. Will you be picking up the palette? If you need any help, drop a comment below. You know, I'm happy to respond and to hear from you. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. Bye.